So we're here to explore business opportunities in Mozambique, and today we're taking a look at fast-moving consumer goods with the biggest company in that sphere here in Mozambique, and that is ADC.
Business since 2014 has been a challenge. Okay, we saw that the economy was tightening from mid 14. In 2015, the economy started slipping. Mainly, the exports diminished, and then we saw there was a restriction on currency, especially from mid 2015, from July onwards, where the currency in early 15 was around 30 meticash to a dollar, went all the way up to 55, 58 meticash to a dollar, to close at 45 at the end of 2015. And because we distribute about 70% of our products are imported, so the currency plays a big role. And the consumer's pocket is not elastic. So when we increase the price, it affects the quantities that we put into the market. In 2016, this depreciation of the currency started at the beginning of the year by 45, reached close to 80, and now is retracting slowly around 75. So there has been a big impact on our business because inflation, the current inflation is about more than 30%, which has a direct impact. And because we sell to the bottom of the pyramid, so the disposable income is not that great. What has also affected this year mainly is the interest rates, which at the beginning were close to the tens, like 11, 12%. Today we are talking of 27, 28%. So also that has slowed down the economy. What we understand is the fiscal policies of the central bank to try and control inflation. But while doing that, obviously it is hurting the companies which are borrowing money, and it is creating more inflation because that increase in the interest rate is being passed on to the consumer, who is at the end paying for it.
So what impact has this had overall on your revenues and profitability?
Okay, if we look at the revenue in terms of meticash, is almost the same, but the reason is the same because the depreciation has gone up of the metical by about more than 110, 115%. So if you look at the quantity, our quantities have diminished by 50%. So if you look at a volume base, our business has been hit by 50%.
Goodness me. Are you optimistic of a recovery? And how soon do you think this will happen?
Okay, we feel that, all right, the measures have been taken, and I think the donors and IMF are trying to help the country to recover. We hope that this process can accelerate because what has happened, I think, from all our colleagues in the same business, we found that all the business are retracting, reducing personnel, cutting costs. And it's not good when people are getting laid off because then you have less consumers to sell to. So we hope that this interim position that the country is going through is rapidly solved between the donors, the government, and IMF. And we think, from what we hear, I mean, we are not deeply into the politics or nor at the central bank. We think in a period of 6 months, hopefully this should be resolved. And then we see a bright future for the country because the country has all the resources that it needs. It has petroleum, gas, coal, gold, diamond, agriculture, tourism, you name it, the country has. And it is well located because it has the ports, which are great infrastructure for the country and for the neighboring countries like Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, even South Africa is using the southern corridor of Maputo. So country is well placed. There had been some hiccup of, I guess, some borrowings which were not declared. But I hope that this can be overcome very quickly because Mozambique was growing for more than 15 or more than 20 years at 7-8%, and suddenly this year I think the forecast is 3% or lower. which that does hurt companies who are trying to grow. And because we cater to the bottom of the pyramid, all this impact affects us immediately. And we are also a distributor of the airtime for Vodacom. We had seen some, maybe the volume is, the revenue is there, I mean in terms of currency, but in terms of quantity, we have seen a slight slowdown. We distribute soft drinks. We have seen some slowdown in soft drinks. So all that has affected, I think, various sectors of the country. The logistics of the country is far behind. If you look to transport goods within the country, let me just give you an example. For example, to transport from Maputo to Beira, which is the next biggest city, which is about 1,200 kilometers from Maputo, we would pay in an order of $50 a ton. Okay. To transport by truck, it would take 2 days to reach there. On the other side, we import rice from Bangkok, for example, from Thailand to Maputo, which is a journey of 22, 23 days by vessel. And we pay anywhere from $35 to $38 a ton. So you can imagine to transport for 21 days on a vessel, you pay 35 to 36, and to transport 1,200 kilometers, you pay $50 a ton. Now, that is one of the biggest hurdle for the agriculture, because all the agriculture, the big potential is in the center and the north of the country, like in the province of Zambezi, Sofala, Manica. And the biggest consumer are in the south. But you can see that the freight cost makes the product too expensive, and sometimes it's better to import the product, the similar product, from another country rather than bringing it from within your country because of the cost of logistics. And what is missing, I mean, we have seen many countries that in order to reduce the cost of logistics, either they enhance their railway networks, which we have corridors, but they all go from east to west. There's nothing going from north to south. Okay, so they need more railway corridors. And also we have the sea covering the whole country, but the sea freight is too expensive and the cost of transporting is not there. We have seen many international container lines have left the country and has reduced the availability of ships that you can use to transport your goods from south to north or north to south. So I think the heavy investment in logistics is needed. And even our main highway, if you look at it, it's a 2-lane highway. There's not even a shoulder lane or anything like that. So the trucks normally only work 8 to 9 hours a day or 10 when it's sunlight, which if you see, it's not feasible, because normally a truck is any kind of machine. It should run 24 hours a day to reduce the cost or the depreciation of that vehicle, which is not done here. So that has to be improved. So the lighting has to be improved, the road condition has to be improved. And recently, since 2014, you must have heard about the guerrilla warfare which is happening in the center of the country, which has increased the cost of transport, even within 2 provinces. The security, the lineups, because now you have to go on a convoy, so your truck can sit for a day waiting for the lineup. So all that has affected the as I said, doing business in Mozambique.